So, you've been diagnosed with celiac disease and told to follow a gluten-free diet. What does that even mean? Let's ask an expert.
Celiac disease is an autoimmune disease that affects 1% of the population. Basically, your body has decided to attack gluten, which is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. But in doing so, it also ends up attacking your digestive system, specifically your small intestine. If your small intestine is not working well, you are not able to properly absorb your food. Continuing to eat gluten causes damage that can lead to many other medical problems, such as anemia, osteoporosis, depression, cancer, and diabetes. By not eating gluten, you can prevent this damage. Sticking to a gluten-free diet is the only known treatment for those with celiac disease.
But what if you don't have symptoms? Is it still important to follow a gluten-free diet?
If you've been diagnosed with celiac disease, it means that ingesting gluten will cause damage to the small intestine and increase your chance of developing other diseases, even if you don't have symptoms now.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So it really is important to avoid gluten. I guess a major concern would be that following a gluten-free diet will be too hard.
I understand that it can seem scary, but rest assured, some small changes can help you eat gluten-free without having to completely overhaul your diet. The important thing is to learn how to recognize gluten. The tricky part is that it can hide in some foods, so today we are going to learn the basics. You may think that you are now only restricted to gluten-free foods at the supermarket, which can often be expensive. But did you know that many foods are naturally gluten-free? For example, fruits, vegetables, milk, cheese, many cuts of meat, and some grains. So you don't have to only shop in the gluten-free aisle. Feel free to venture to all aisles, making sure to read ingredient lists for hidden gluten.
Hidden gluten? You mean it might not be obvious?
Sometimes it's not very obvious. Ingredients like malted barley or malt extract or semolina don't immediately scream gluten, but they definitely are sources. Certain foods like beer, processed meats, spices, and even soy sauce often contain gluten. So it's important to familiarize yourself with the different names of gluten and to always read ingredient labels. Make this a habit because food ingredients can change such that foods that were once gluten-free may no longer be okay to eat.
Wow, I never realized how important reading labels is. It can be interesting to learn what's in your food though. But what about eating out? How do you know what's in your food then? How will you know what is safe to order?
The gluten-free diet is kind of trendy right now, which works well for you. It means that people are much more aware of it, and many restaurants offer gluten-free options. Just make sure to ask about these before ordering, or look for a gluten-free symbol. Don't be shy to tell your server that you have celiac disease. After all, it is your health. Treat it like any other food allergy. Zero gluten is the only acceptable way.
So it's really important to read labels every time and not be shy to let anyone know, especially when eating away from home. It is a strict diet though.
Yes, it is a strict diet, but it's not necessarily a difficult diet. It is strictly no gluten because, like we saw earlier, this will allow your gut to heal and stay healthy, which means you can properly absorb your food. It will also protect you from the further health complications we discussed at the beginning of the video. If in doubt, go without. Remember, a gluten-free diet is the only known treatment for celiac disease.